Hi everyone, so another week's gone by, so another edition of PKM Weekly coming at you. So this week we've got lots of sports, lots of football, lots of F1. So before we get to that, let's see what's new in the world of PKM. So Capacities, this is a little bit of a maybe not, an iPad app. I've seen musings that an iPad app may or may not have found its way to the Apple test flight. So if you're waiting for the iPad app, be sure just to have a little bit more patience, and if you're on the Pro plan or the Believer plan, I'm sure that it will be with you soon enough. So just a little bit more patience and it will come. PKM tool, so someone was asking what they think of Capacities and why it's a promising PKM tool. Basically clear and separate knowledge writing, local, for reviewing connecting notes. It's free. There's a lot of good things which are free within Capacities. Some are paid, of course, but you can definitely do everything or most things that you would need to in the free version. Sync, so you can use it on any device, and web app that basically allows you to work on it without downloading an app. So it is very useful. Drawbacks, no complete offline function. They are building that as best as they can. So that is definitely something to keep a lookout for. Every week or every couple of weeks, there's the improvements and updates to the offline functionality, and then no tablet version yet. As I mentioned earlier, there may or may not be a version within the Apple test flight. Writing space, a user just talks us through basically creating something that looks along the lines of this. This is in Capacities, so how do they do it? What do they do? And in terms of the steps that they adopt to basically turn for the ugly first draft into something finalized. So lots going on within Capacities, but unfortunately also this week there's a little bit of server outage. It did only last a few minutes, up to an hour or so, and it did impact some users, as I saw in the Discord, which is one of the reasons why Capacities and the dev team want to build offline functionality and keep growing the offline functionality so that these things will become a thing of the past and we won't even notice when there is a server outage because it will just reconnect once it's available, and you can use Capacities to its full capabilities whilst it's offline. So something to look out for, but also the devs were very quick to point out that there were issues and they fixed them very quickly. Logseq, a few things going on with Logseq. So obviously the database version is still ongoing, and there was a post that was published that we can now basically do different views. So you can set up different views to see different queries and things within it. So a little bit a la Notion, if you will. And then Bas pointed out that we can also amend, it's a bit of a small image, but we can also amend certain different things in queries that basically allows us to change properties and things without having to navigate to the actual page itself. So definitely lots going on and lots to take away from. And also there was a support namespace, pages and tags being worked on within GitHub. So it's definitely taking shape, and more things are being added to get it to parity with the Markdown version. And then hopefully after that, there will be a release more general. This one here, Logseq database, this is from a user, basically just going through how they set up Logseq database version, and it basically allows them to track things like his daily mood, book, they're actively reading, the workouts, the reading lists in general, and a person framework. So if you're interested to see how the database version works and what you can do with it, definitely do check this out. And then Dario comes with us with a messy Zettelkasten, or a messy Kasten, as he likes to call it. And in this video, basically goes through with Bob Dotto, who's the author of A System for Writing, which is basically a practical guide to building a Zettelkasten. And Dario and Bob just chat about Zettelkastings in general and how Dario uses Logseq to basically set up his messy Kasten. So if you're interested, do check that out. Tana, there's lots of fixes and improvements, so you can check out the full release notes from here, but lots of improvements. And then they do have a couple of RSS feeds for the releases and the blog that you can just add to your RSS reader just to make it a little bit easier to see what's going on. Bragg and Matt, they did another office hours. It was great fun again this week. So they're doing this every couple of weeks or so, just basically going through. This week it was Stian as a guest appearance, and we also had Emmanuel and Theo, who are the two new team members, just joining. And it was great fun, great energy, so keep it up, guys. It's good fun to watch and also learn more about what's going on at Tana. And then lastly, in the off chance that you're in San Francisco on Monday 16th September, there is a meetup with Olav and the other two co-founders, pizzas, networking, and some presentations to see what's new and what's upcoming. So do check that out if you're in SF on the 16th of September. Obsidian, so this is a bit unfortunate that Twitter doesn't actually embed very well in Substack, but from this tweet, what you can see is a user, how they use Obsidian to basically create a knowledge graph and link different things together, basically talks through how he uses Obsidian, which I think is a great video. So definitely do check that out if you haven't already done so. And then a couple of questions of what do you think about Obsidian? Are you happy with it? And if you moved to Obsidian to Apple, from Obsidian to Apple, what did you think? So about 50 responses in this Reddit post, some interesting, some positive, some negative. So do check it out if you have the time and you're interested in people that swapped from Obsidian to Apple Notes. And then lastly, this is not quite related to Obsidian specifically, but there's a logo of Obsidian, so I thought I'd include it in this section. This user basically says second brains are a lie. A lot of the stuff I do agree with, like he says, some of it not so much, but it's definitely worth checking out of some of the perceptions, some of the beliefs that we have about PKM systems and how they can make us be the next Nicholas Luhmann. But obviously we sometimes forget that Luhmann had an idea and he built the Zettelkasten out of those ideas rather than the other way around, which is have a PKM app, do some Zettelkasting and you'll become a prolific writer. Not quite the case. So definitely worth checking out this video. There's lots of insights and it's only about 6 minutes long or so. Other apps, there's quite a lot going on. So Bianca, she's offering us 100 days of note taking, just to be a bit more consistent with our note taking. So there's a couple of options. There's a more free one. Sorry, both free, but there's a more guided tour or a self-guided tour. And basically she explains what the differences between the two of them are. And it's really just trying to get us to be more consistent and more meaningful with our notes through the prompts that she will provide. And it will be about 15 minutes a day or so of our time, so not much at all. So do check it out. It is free, as I say. So do have a look. Heptabase, there's now a button that you can click, and basically it allows you to fold and unfold the cards that you have on the board. So a great addition there. Anytype, they've got a giving and receiving program, so a referral program that's just started up. So if you share it and someone clicks your link, you get up to 2.5 gigabytes of extra storage for you and the person who signs up through your link. So definitely do check that out if you enjoy using Anytype. A bit of a weird one on Reddit, where else? But basically OP suggested that Anytype and Logseq have a child together, and using some of the positives from both apps, hopefully make a super app. So the Anytype infrastructure, but display it in a Logseq outline type. So it's been an interesting one, interesting concept, and maybe one day this will be possible. Affine, they've reached 40,000 stars on GitHub, so congratulations to them. If you're interested in the app, do check it out. There's a link here, and there's the GitHub repo there. Appflowy, this one is another one that has been going through huge improvements in the last few weeks, and another one this week with version 0.6.9. So files and media, new property type, you can sign in with Apple, you can enable delete accounting settings, and you can also bring in some media and other types of files in there. And also there's Kanban boards and etc. So definitely check it out and update your version if you haven't already done so. And then Evernote, quite a few updates in the month of August, which was just published in a video earlier this week. So lots of things going on in Evernote. So do check it out if you're still using Evernote or you're interested in Evernote. And that's it. So that's it for this week. So again, thank you very much for being here, and we'll see you next week. Thanks very much.